All right, so we're gonna queue up the agenda for the day is gonna be Epstein List, 50-year mortgage, and then we'll do a military base thing.
Night lights on the PX sign, grab a snack, make the mission in time. Boots on gravel, stories begun. One last lap on a Shoppette Run.
All right, cool. Let's go. So
Hell yeah.
yeah. So I appreciate your time. Reached out to you. I enjoy doing your podcast. So mine's in formation. Definitely enjoy doing that. We've always had good banter, good cube talk or whatnot. So why not? I kind of had an idea in my head for a thing too, right? And I say, who better to do it with than Matt, right? Kind of. I'm black, you're white, different perspectives on a lot of things of that nature, but we still kind of have enough mutual things, military and work and things of that nature and profession that I think this would be kind of a good back and forth or whatever. So let's get started with all things military. Let's just call this episode 0, kind of the pilot.
There you go.
And then we can see where we go from there, do a few of these and see how it comes out or whatever. All right. So again, with all military, we already know we're experts in our own opinion. Me and you, we kind of amateur finance bros. And then and so we kind of just want to do that. So again, reaction videos or whatnot, and we'll get started there. You want to say anything before we get started?
No, man. I think we got just the tiniest delay, so that'll be all right though. It'll buff out in the end.
Okay.
But it's cool that you're doing this thing. What's up now?
No, go ahead.
Oh no, my bad. Yeah. No, it's cool you're doing this thing. I'm happy to be here. I like the creative process. I think it's good. I think everybody should do something. Put your mind into something, work on something outside of just your job and the normal crap that you do day in and day out. So I'm happy to see you do this and happy to be a part of it.
I appreciate it. And again, like we talked on text, we are the new content, right? So all the people are the content these days, right? So why not hop into the or whatever. All right, so we're gonna queue up the agenda for the day is gonna be Epstein List, 50-year mortgage, and then we'll do a military base thing or whatnot. So I'm going and hit the Epstein one here. And again, I know we had delay, so I'm gonna take a pause in it a little bit. So
we have nothing to do with Epstein. The Democrats do. All of his friends were Democrats. You look at this Reid Hoffman, you look at Larry Summers, Bill Clinton, they went to his island all the time, and many others, they're all Democrats.
Mark Epstein, the brother of convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, tells the media that his brother revealed he had dirt on President Donald Trump. After an email in the Jeffrey Epstein files went viral for its reference to President Donald Trump blowing Bubba, Jeffrey's brother is offering clarification about the message. The House Oversight Committee recently released a large amount of documents from Jeffrey's estate, and Trump, who was mentioned multiple times in the files, is once again being scrutinized over his relationship with the convicted sexual offender. The documents include an email from Mark Epstein that references photos of Trump blowing Bubba. Bubba is a nickname of Bill Clinton. However, Mark Epstein told the media that the individual isn't the former president.
All right, so with this one, I'm going to start with this one, right? So, backstory: I'm in Puerto Rico. I'm not checking any news. I'm poolside chilling, right? I'm about 3 mojitos in, so I'm not checking any news for the last couple of days before this came out. So I got my phone with me though, right? So as we all get news, I find out with memes. I'm like, what the hell is going on here and whatnot? So I'm like, that was not on my bingo card that Trump is out here as being accused of, giving the Monica Lewinsky treatment, to Trump or whatnot. So that's kind of the playful one. So we've been going through this Jeffrey Epstein thing for years now or whatnot. So what I want to present to you, what do you think? Let's say, because they just signed that, hey, put the files out or whatever. From my recollection, it started with a list and now it's files and everything like that. So what do you think? So I think we had 27 days for the files to come out. Probably going to be redacted as hell. But what's the worst case scenario with these files? And we've been going through these for years. What do you think is the worst case scenario on these things?
I mean, I guess the worst case scenario would be that it points to all of these important people that have been calling the shots and that we allegedly look up to and rely on for leadership are all just a bunch of raging, creepy pedophiles, and it turns everything on its head because we realize how deep it actually is. All these things that like we're like, hey, is everybody in Washington D.C. like fucking kids? And we're like, hey, it's actually true. They are all doing it. So that'd be like worst case scenario, just a complete collapse, I guess. But they'll never allow that to happen. Like, we've seen this thing is so stinky. It's been stinky since the day it hit the scenes, with the missing footage and like, hey, we got a bunch of evidence. Pam Bondi's like, we got a bunch of videos. And later, like, never mind, we don't have any videos. And then they're going to release documents and they're voting on it and going back and forth. And you think that you're going to actually get legitimate unmolested documents? Like, you're really going to get to the bottom of it? Get the fuck out of here. Exactly.
So my thoughts on that is again, we've been going through this list for it might be this for years now. So I'm kind of with you. I think worst case is going to be public embarrassment. I don't think anything's going to come out of it, but I've always had a question in reference to these files. So we're not talking about murder. We're talking about pedos and stuff happened on the island. So everybody that was victimized on that island, I know the one girl killed herself, but everybody that was victimized on the island are still alive. So why are we so hell-bent on files when there are people who were victimized on the island that's still there that could that could point to people and say, hey, nah, yeah, he did that. And whether it's an accusation or true, but that there's a person that could link you to that island. Other than that,
well, they got a bunch of money and unsigned NDAs. So I don't know how you work your way around that. I mean, allegedly, who the fuck knows? Because you're exactly right. If it was this massive, horrifying ring, then yeah, like why wouldn't we just hear about it? People would be like, yep, this guy was there, that guy was there, blah, 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 blah. And it'd be very straightforward. But I don't know, maybe that's not the case. And I think that's another thing that people have been talking about more lately. They're like, it's not like children. We're talking about teenagers and shit. And I don't know, people like barely legal types. I don't know what that means. Like, what's the age of consent? I know in a lot of places it's actually 16. So does that mean like 16's fair game? I don't know exactly how that works, but
yeah. And I'm like, this thing is not going. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where the island was located. But yeah, I mean, you're correct. Like in some locations, I mean, different laws, different places or whatever. And like he's on what they say, like the gambling, they put on a boat so they could go out there and gamble everything. So again, yeah. I mean, I think is enough where we know that powerful folks were somewhere doing shit they wasn't supposed to do. And, I think everything right now is kind of, hey, let's try to save face, or who's on that list would have to be gravely impacted the kind of the look of America and, and powerful people or whatnot. And let's make sure that we get the Sharpie and make sure those names can't be seen on there. But again, I'm kind of with you. It's going to come out, and I think it's going to be a news clip, and then we kind of going to go into business as usual. Because if anything that was that detrimental to kind of our society, I think it would have either came out already or they would have been buried it, burnt it, and kept it moving. So some folks better look out.
Yeah, 100%. Expect to be dissatisfied. It's going to be a big bowl of nothing soup.
Yeah, and like I said, and if it is something, we won't see the stuff that is something. We won't get to see it, right? So, no.
Heck no.
No. All right, so cool. Appreciate that. Like I said, I'm trying to keep this short, kind of a commute level kind of show type thing, whatnot. So we're gonna go to the second one, and that's going to be the 50-year mortgage that they starting to picture around.
Your new home, that might be the dream still of many Americans, but a 50-year mortgage on that house, it might not be, as the President Donald Trump announcing a new proposal that might leverage a 50-year mortgage in it, as it might have significant drawbacks. The president floated the idea about a week ago that home buyers should have half a century, 50-year mortgages to make purchasing homes more affordable. On paper, long longer mortgages do what they promise, lower the monthly bill, but those smaller payments could come at a cost, higher rates, more interest paid, and slower wealth building over time. Let's bring into a conversation.
So my thoughts on this. So my thoughts on this is like, have we played this game before? I mean, that's pretty much the auto industry and everything that comes along with some time of term, right? So I get the sentiment. Same as a car that you can't afford. Let me extend your payments out, and you're going to pay less a month so you can afford to get the white picket fence and the house that you want. But anybody who's actually paying attention, if you do the math and we talk about interest rates and we talk about large numbers, by the time you won't make it to the 50 years, because most people ain't gonna stay in the house for 50 years. But if you do, you done paid 3-4x that house, to the bank. So obviously, I know a lot of the gurus say, hey, housing the banking product. I think everybody kind of knows that banks get paid off interest, and you get a bank your money, they loan your money out to Joe Schmo, and then the game keeps going round and round. So I think I can look at both sides of the coin. It's good if you're going to bring down a monthly payment, make something more affordable, but in the long term, with anything, you're going to get jerked because you're going to pay more in the long term for short term satisfaction. So, I mean, how you feel about the 50-year, kind of pitching that 50-year plan?
Yeah, I mean, I think you hit it pretty accurately, because you could think that there's probably some cases where it might be good for the right-minded person who's like, okay, I get it. 50 years is a bad deal, but I need a lower payment right now. So let me get it right now. I'm going to keep progressing throughout my career. We'll refinance, we'll do extra payments, whatever. We'll take care of business and work on that as aggressively as we can. So maybe for the right personality, be good, but otherwise, you're going to be falling into just a major tax trap. And I just don't really think it's all that realistic, unless it's backed by something else. It's something that kind of popped in my head. I was like, if you're going to do something like that, if you had some sort of program, like these loans were government sponsored or whatever, there's some sort of program to guarantee a very low interest rate. Like, I got lucky when I bought my house. I got one of those sweet 2.5% interest rates. But if you had some type of system that guaranteed that with a 50-year thing, like maybe that's becoming a little bit more realistic. So the interest rate's super low. And then, maybe you can get super aggressive and adopt the Ron DeSantis idea that's going around right now with abolishing property tax, which I think would be amazing.
Which one is
if
that?
you could abolish property tax.
About
so it's just,
I got you.
yeah,
you actually own your home when you pay it off. You actually own your home now.
exactly. So maybe if there's some extra kickers that go with it, maybe 50 years starts to make a little more sense. But under the current model, I think you're just going to get molested by the tax man.
Yeah. So, kind of tail off question to that is, do you think it's fair that they're making all these products, and every time we see these banking industries report their earnings, that they're making record earnings? So like, damn, now you want to, and again, I get it. If I could keep you in 50 years and it's on my books, and I'm technically your landlord. I'm a landlord, and I don't have to superintend your house. You're going to fix everything in it, and you're going to keep paying me until you move or you default or you reach 50 years, which probably not going to happen in one house, right? So,
well, maybe that's where we're messing up. Maybe we need to become banks then, because that's a great business idea.
that's a fact. Banks are becoming the land. I mean, we see it happening. Banks are becoming the landlords, and like, hey, let's push it out to 50 years, and we just keep making it. I mean, banks make money off interest. I mean, that's how they do. So if I could push you out to 50 years, I mean, why not? Something positive on the books that
shoot
money for, yeah. So, all right. So
yeah, what's next? Maybe we'll do 100 years. You'll be paying this loan for 4 generations.
Exactly. You're gonna have a 50-year mortgage and a 20-year car payment.
Yeah, dude, debt forever.
But what they ready to say, oh, how much can I afford? So, I mean, and we know it's a monthly mentality. I get it. People want to keep some money in their pocket, so you could do the things in life you want to do, vacations and things of that nature. I mean, most people are right. I don't want to say most people, but people are house poor. So when you get in there and you're paying a mortgage that's up teens of your take home income, I could see how that could put people in a pinch. So we'll see where that goes from here. But I'm pretty sure if you offer it, if you build
Yeah.
it,
I mean, I would say
go ahead. You good?
they will. And I guess I was going to say if a 50-year mortgage was your only option, then I guess you got to do what you got to do. Still, you need to try to get a house. I think everybody needs to aspire to try to get property and own real estate. And if that's the only option you can do to get started, and like I said earlier on, then try to fix it later. Refinance or make extra payments or whatever. Do what you got to do. But it is important to try to get that nest egg, so to speak.
No, for sure. So again, you build it. If you build it, they will come. So I'm pretty sure you offer it, people is gonna take it. Any more comments on that? We can move on to the last part. Good. All right.
No, I think we get it.
So I've been driving across Texas and different questions be coming to my mind or whatever. And we kind of talk about family a lot and things of that nature. So I got a question, off the wall question. Do you think the military abuses the word dependent? So let me caveat on that. So in a civilian, we civilians now, right? So civilians, you probably use the word dependent when you're doing your taxes or something like that. So that's not really thrown around that much. So in everything in the military is dependent, 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 this, right? So, and also, do you think that the term dependent and how much we use it in the military, does that have the propensity for a spouse to inherit that word dependent and become, hot take, lazier, or nah, this about the service member has it, I'll just fall back and just be a dependent?
Yeah, I mean, language is powerful, and the way language, impacts culture and military culture. There is a little bit of that. We kind of, you picture yourself, you and your soldiers, hanging out in the motor pool or out at formation, and the message and the mentality is very much like, we're doing all this important stuff, we got a job to do, and we're like, but make sure we take care of the dependents because they depend on us. Like, it's in the word. We're almost like making them inferior to those of us in uniform, like they need us so much. So it is kind of funny. And a military career tends to overshadow like a lot of other things in people's lives, and it causes conflict sometimes because you might have a spouse, whether it be male or female, they're like, yeah, I'm a sales executive. And then everybody else is like, oh, cool. How many times you've been to Iraq? Like just like overshadow like everybody. But anyways, all that to kind of combine into, yeah, I could see how it would create that sort of system because you do see it and you hear the horror stories about the dependopotamuses and like the families that just can't get their shit together. And there's always a problem on base. The MPs are going over to these houses all the time because people are crazy. And yeah, I never really thought of it, but it is kind of the thing.
And we don't do ourselves any favors, right? Yeah, the big PX in the sky, free healthcare, right? So it's like you kind of some people kind of lead with that, like, yeah, come on, I'm all these things, and then we kind of see it in retirement, right? Important thing is healthcare, right? A lot of people expenses or working to have healthcare, so you know that is a benefit of being a military spouse or military, child or whatever. Dependent is those things or whatnot. But I know, as you said, I still feel the same way and I kind of went through that too. So, that words have a powerful thing. When you call somebody dependent and they inherit that I'm dependent on a person for my sustenance and everything like that, you can say, hey, no, I'm gonna do, and we see it. I mean, you on posts all the time, and you kind of see you see the pregnant woman that's already pushing a stroller with a kid in it, and we kind of pushing out kids, and you got the dog and everything like that. So it is kind of a life. But I was just thinking about that just as as open enrollment comes up and everything like that. Like, damn, since I've been out of the military, I haven't really used the word dependent as strong as I did when I was in the military. Like everything was a dependent based thing. This is my dependent, and we just throw that word around like it's crazy. But I just wonder what that does to the psyche of a spouse, male or female, or whatnot. That when it comes to you keep kind of throwing away a subservient word like that.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting idea. Like I said, I never really thought about it, but it makes sense because the whole, ladies hunting for TRICARE, that was always kind of a joke. So as you were talking, it kind of made me think. I'm like, dang, is our government like preying on all these people to like get them to join the military? Like, come on, I'll take care of you. And then we join the military. We're like, okay, cool. And then these ladies that are wanting free handouts, they come prey on us. There's this endless cycle of people preying upon each other. And then needless to say, maybe we don't have the strongest communities because like what do they say, like the divorce rates are so high, but maybe it's just a bunch of hooligans finding each other on base.
Exactly. Now that you say that, that might be why the rates are so high because again, maybe you're not getting into it for the. I mean, and love is a four-letter word, right? But you're getting into it for the benefits of the access to and to things. And again, I think healthcare obviously is very important, and kind of if you're an on post person and living on post and kind of having that community and living in the BH and all that things that come along with that, I get it, but I would hope that folks don't get bogged down in that dependent and you find a lot of people do to that. And then when they do go to the divorce or go down the line is you see you've never really built your career or whatnot. But a lot of, I'm a male, so I'm gonna talk about the females, but we talk about trying to go back to that traditional wife friend because the world crazy right now, right? So no, I want to stay home. I want to take care of kids. I want to, be there for my children. So I had the benefit of that. When I was younger, I didn't see that when I was a young soldier, but I never had to worry about my kids going to daycare. I never had to worry about somebody doing some crazy shit to my kids inside of daycares and what's going on in there or whatnot. And my kids stayed home with their mother until it was time for them to go to kindergarten. So and it say so obviously that saved me on because I don't know if you've seen with childcare, those childcare costs is crazy, even on posts or whatever. So as I'm older now, I can look back and say, no, that really saved me money. And my kids were always cared for and, with their mother when I'm at work or whatnot. So, it was a lot of different ways to kind of look at that. So anything else on that topic?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because like all jokes aside, like I believe in the traditional relationship as well, and I think the military, there's a lot of aspects of that community that they kind of strive for that. It's just funny, we always just find the things to joke about. But there, for every family that's the maniac, the stereotype, there's probably a dozen families that are delightful on base and they're having a great life and mom's holding it down and dad's taking care of business and everything's great. It's just you hear about the ones where everyone's crazy.
Such as life. Crazy that's gonna make the headlines, right? So yeah, man, that's all I
totally
had. And again, so I appreciate it. Again, I'm on some hotel Wi-Fi, so hopefully everything kind of works out. We'll work out something else. I'm thinking that bi-weekly right now, so I'll let you know or whatever once I get stable somewhere.
Yeah,
definitely appreciate your time. So, but I got a surprise for you. I'll send you before I post it, I'll send it to you. I made an intro, so it's just the right.
Oh, perfect.
It's just the right level of corny. So.
Okay, sweet. I'm excited about that.
Oh no, man, I appreciate you, man. And we'll see how this come out. So, thank you, man.
All right, yeah, anytime, bro. I'm down for it.
All right.